this will be a good birthday card. Sorry, just muttering to my craft to lunch. You know what? It is what it is today. Yeah, this is my very, I just found the stamp I was looking for. My very first YouTube live, going live with StreamYard. Actually, my first YouTube live in many months. So yeah, of course, I'm going to be running late and dropping things all over the floor. Nobody's really surprised. Anyway, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube today. I figured new month, new challenge for myself. So this is going to be a regular thing. I'm going to be going live not only in my Facebook group, which I have been doing on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central for a few months now. I decided that I'm also going to step it up and head on over to YouTube as well. So if you're just joining me, to see your comment, actually your name, you do need to give StreamYard permission to show me your name. If not, it'll just show up either as, I think, YouTube viewer or Facebook viewer. So if I don't acknowledge you by name, that is why. So yeah, we are doing quick and dirty cards today. I recently got, I haven't decided if I'm going to be using the Hello Ladybug set yet, or if I'm going to be using this little happy birthday stamp from, I can't remember what set it's from now. It's fine. Anyway, when I have the name, I will pop it up into the comments for you guys. I recently got this paper, the Hues of Happiness. I haven't been hot about it, but I really love it. And I'm making 6 different cards with the paper that I have in my hand. Each card is going to have a different color, but we're using the same sentiment and the same punched shape. So yeah, we have got choices for our sides, which totally changes up the look of what you're creating. Mixing and matching the patterns and the colors gives us a huge range. Hey, Stephanie, thank you so much for watching. Not sure if you caught the craft to lunch at the beginning. But actually, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. It seems a little high for today. So yeah, we're going to change up. Some of them are going to be floral. Some of them are going to be a little bit not floral. So I'm using, as I said, Hues of Happiness. And the color choices that I have today are all from the Brights paper pack. Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape. Of course, the dog's going to stop barking. Daffodil Delight. Melon Mambo. Granny Apple Green. And Coastal Cabana. I wrote my notes. I didn't even look at my notes. I'm super impressed with myself. Okay, so we are going to mix and match bases with our papers first. And then I'm going to show you just adding the sentiment. And we'll be good to go. All right. So some of these are going to be, let's see, what are we going to do? I think I'm going to pick these 2 first, and we're going to do this side. I love this kind of oil painting look. There's been a few paper packs lately that have that kind of pattern on them, and I absolutely love, love, love it. It's really good for neutral bases, for masculine bases. Hey, Mary Louise, I hope you're having a good day. So yeah, we're going to get started with these 2. And we'll do Granny Apple Green, I think, and Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stick these guys over here with the card bases because the gremlins, they're alive and well in my craft room. So this is really pretty too. This paper also has some really nice, big, bold prints that are absolutely perfect for fussy cutting like I did on this card one day last week. So I just fussy cut out 3 of the yellow flowers and used that as my focal point on the card. We've had rain for days and days and days and huge storms. Today it's beautiful. The sun is shining. We've been outside a lot today, but the dogs want to be outside for even longer. I also really love how the backs of all of the paper packs have the coordinating colors listed on them. But changing up the color that you use for the base also completely changes the look of what the paper is going to look like. So here I'm picking up the melon. Here I'm picking up the coastal cabana, and it's a totally different. I find that this one is a little bit more subdued, and this one kind of makes it pop a little bit more. So just changing the colors too can sometimes make a huge impact. Now, I did nerd out a little bit before I came on, and I did a little bit of card math. If I did my math properly, if you do a 2x2 strip, you can get approximately 154 card fronts out of this paper pack. So you can do, I'm going to do that. I'll do that one there. And 80 like bases from a package of the cardstock. So a little bit of paper can go a really long way in creating. So you would get 6, is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 12 strips, 2x2x5 and a half, and 2 strips that are 5.5 by 1 inch for the cards out of each piece of designer series paper. I usually like to go a little bit bigger though, because it kind of sometimes hurts my soul. Actually, there is a right way for this paper. It does hurt my soul sometimes when I cut pretty paper, but that's what it's for. If you don't use it, I don't know. You just got to cut it because it's pretty. All right. Now we're going to do that. Yeah, that for there. And then this one, I think we're going to do, that's a little bit more subtle than I was hoping it was going to be. But sorry, we're going to bling it up and it'll be fine. Now I'm just showing you the absolute basics of what you can do with a card. Because literally it can be a few minutes to put a card together, right up to a few hours. It's been a very long while since I've done cards that are a few hours to put together, mostly because I don't have the patience. But there have been some, actually there's been some that have taken many days, just because the idea in my head isn't translating exactly as I wanted it to. And I keep sticking my fingers to the card. Actually, Stephanie is also a crafty crafter. Hey Marilyn, nice to see you. And she gave me an idea for my first Friday free class, which is going to be this Friday at 10 a.m. Central. It's going to be over in my VIP group. And she did a faux wood burning with a stencil. I'm going to be doing faux wood burning with cardstock. There will be no lighters, matches, or anything that can go awry. Fingers crossed, hopefully, with that. But honestly, in my craft room, you'll never know what can happen. So I'm using the double oval punch, and it would appear that, here it is. So I need 6. So when I punch, I just put it through just so that I can't see any of the punch part through. I give it a bit of a push down just so it doesn't move, and then push. Now you want to be super careful that your fingers are nowhere near here, because when it comes down, it pinches and it hurts. I actually forgot that little safety tip a couple of weeks ago, and I pinched myself. And then, of course, I had to laugh myself silly because I know better, and I still did it. So it is what it is. All right, so we've got this done. Stick that over there. What color ink are we gonna use? Of course, you know, I grabbed the cardstock and the paper and all of the things, but I didn't grab an ink pad. So we're going to go with early espresso because that's what was over there in the pile. You could actually also coordinate with what you've got as your card base with the ink if you have it. Actually, yeah, we're going to coordinate with the card bases. You could use it all in one color if you wanted to, if you didn't have the means of adding different colors. But I'm going to show you one of my favorite marker things. I've been using markers a lot lately. All right, just clean that up. Now, fingers crossed, we've got Flirty Flamingo. Mango Melody, no, that's Daffodil. That's Melon. Granny Apple Green. Oh, we might actually be able to do this. Grape, and what was the other color? Coastal Cabana. You know, you've been doing this on the Bermuda Bay. You've been doing this a while when you don't even have to look at the name of the color to grab the right color. Okay, now we're going to just color. I have a baby wipe here, mostly because I wasn't prepared enough to grab my chamois or my scrub. So we're just going to color right on our stamp. So I'm using the flat, the brush tip, but flat, so that I don't dull the tip. Just a little huff of hot air because I've got plenty to spare. And then we're going to keep doing one of each color. I was hoping that with it being June now, it would actually feel like I had a clue, but June is starting the same way that May ended. May was a blur, absolute flyby. And I feel like June is kind of on the same track. My daughter's going on a camping trip with school next week. She's beyond excited. We've got field trips coming left, right, and center. Everybody's wound for sound and probably completely ready for this year to end. I remember what it was like when I was working in the school system, and June is an awesome month, but it's also the longest month of the entire year. Although, I don't know, maybe that week before Christmas break. All right. So yeah, using the markers is an awesome way of building up your color collection without the expense of buying all of the ink pads. And the markers, I love them. They can actually be re-inked as well with the re-inking, like the re-inkers. Oh, itchy nose. All you need to do is take, and I do have a video of how to do that over, I think it was last year or the year before I did it. I can't remember. It's been a while. So all you need to do is take the brush tip and gently pry it out with tweezers, a couple of drips of the re-inker in, let it sit for a few minutes, and then lay your markers flat when you're storing them so that the ink is always distributed evenly. I use the brush tip way more than I use the writing tip of these, but it is always a good idea. The same with the Stampin' Blends. Always make sure that it's horizontal so that you don't have one end that gets dried out and the other one is fine to use. All right, now dimensionals. I've got the minis here because that was the package that was open, but you could use just the regular ones too, is fine. And this little outline area is perfectly serviceable when I run out of the actual octagon, hexagon. There's how many sides? I don't know, 2, 4, 5. So yeah, when I run out, I always cut before I open up a new package. Might as well use everything when you've got it. No fire today. That was before. I don't know. I've told this story a few times. We had a power outage and I had an idea for a card. And I decided that I was going to melt some embossing powder. And because the power was out, I couldn't use my heat tool. So I used a barbecue lighter instead. Okay, we are going to do, guessing game for which one I did. I'm going to mix and match actually so that we can pull a bunch of the colors together just so that you can see how well they can go together. You're all right. Kids and pets. Never a dull moment. You know, your take your pick tool has many uses. Taking the backs off of dimensionals is just one. And then you can stick your, forget it, fingers are faster today for me. You can also stick your everything to everything on your desk because apparently that's how we're working today. Okay, that's enough. Oh my goodness, I tell ya. Probably be a good idea if I did this on screen so you can see what I'm doing too. Let's do Coastal Cabana on this guy. Oh shoot, my dimensional fell off. That's weird. Or maybe I didn't even attach one. Who knows? I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight on the bottom of this one because we've got a teeny tiny hint of color down there. And we've got our pink and we've got our purple. So we'll do purple over on this guy. And do pink over here. Now we're going to bling it up. So one of the favorite uses I have for my take your, oh, there's the dimensional that I couldn't find. For my take your pick is the putty end because it is awesome for getting rhinestones off of your sheet and onto your card. So twist it until you can just start to see the putty come out. And then I twist it back because when the putty starts to come out, especially if it's warm, it comes out really, really quickly. We're going to add a few. I like odd numbers when I'm doing my bling. This one's going to get a little bit more than I normally put just because it's a little bit more plain. So there's one. This, ooh, you know what? This one has lots of opportunity for bling. So we're going to put centers of flowers are going to get some bling. This has 3 different sizes. There's the smaller one, and then the largest one is probably 5 millimeters though or so. It's pretty big. I swear she's going to come right through the door. Oops. And really a little bit of bling can take you a really far way. I finished our school birthday cards Monday, I think. So I sent them to school and every card had a little bit of bling on it just because you really need. Gremlin took my dimensionals. You know what? Gremlins take everything in here. I don't know if it's the actual gremlins or the school age gremlins who also eat my food and live in my house. Although they're pretty good about asking before they borrow stuff. And this one we're going to do, what are we going to do here? even just changing the placements of where you put your gems can totally switch up the look of your cards. So even if you're on a mass production roll and you want to get a whack of cards made at once, and yes, that is an official measurement here, you can totally make each one look differently simply by changing up the placement, the color for the sentiment, or even just the background. I love cutting paper. When a catalog retires, I sit and I cut a whole bunch of paper down to 4 by about 5 1/4, because that's what I usually use for card fronts. And then, yeah, we just go to town and make a whole bunch of bases. And then as you need them, you can create. So I think that one's going to get only 3. And then we're going to bring Stella into the picture and just kind of, oh, helps if you open it the right way. That's all right. And then I'm just going to give a little bit of a brush to the flowers. Wink of Stella is glitter in a brush, and I absolutely love the shimmer and shine that it gives. If you're in Canada and you love what you've seen today, and you feel like you need to have it for your own craft room, my link is down below. Feel free to check out my shop, and I will be creating a resource very quickly after this video is done as well that tells you exactly what I used, and I'll post that both on Facebook and in the YouTube description. All right, I don't know if you can see the shimmer from Stella on this. It's a little hard to see in my craft room right now. But you can also watercolor with this. So if you have, like, this is watercolor pencil, you can just pick up a little bit of the color with the brush and just add a little color. You can also watercolor with the markers, the re-inkers, or just the regular classic ink pads. So there you go, pretty quickly. What is it, 2:25? So 25-ish minutes to get 6 cards. Faster if you don't talk and lose your concentration. So yeah, really quick, really easy. The same layout for all of our cards, but changing up the color, changing up the color of the sentiment really does give it a nice little pop. And you can get a ton of cards. You can even layer this onto the basic white, cut, your card base for the basic white, and then just put a little hint of color behind your strip as well. So as always, if you have any questions, you know where I am. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you over in my VIP group, which if you are watching on Facebook, I'll put the link there. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll stick it in there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Have a great day.